say, in the corn exchange, you used to have lovely dances with the nice food. But we didn't care about the dancing really. We were scoffing the food.
Well, was there ever any problems with the Canadians being here, or were they kind of accepted?
The what?
The Canadians being stationed here.
Oh no. But the blackout was on. We used to be a bit scared. The French Canadians were the most aggressive. They got a big. We were allowed into the dome, but not after 10 o'clock. Well, some Canadians had plenty to drink, and they tried to get in the dome. Well, of course, it wasn't allowed in. So, well, I don't know where they got it from, but a big lump of wood, and they were bashing against the doors of trying to get in. Well, you never see anything like it. There's MPs all over the place, bunging them into these trucks. But, I mean, they used to smash up the cafes and all the French Canadians.
Was that just because they'd been
They
drinking?
go wild. But I say it was a bit difficult in the blackout. We used to be scared, you know, if somebody was Canadians or following us, like. But we had a nice policeman up St James's Street Lane, and he was he used to look after us. He used to see to us, see to the street where we lived. So it was, you know, but we enjoyed ourselves. It was sad, but I remember the hood getting. The first part of the war, my mum said, "Oh, my God," she said, "they've got the hood." That was a ship, and they'd German. She said, "I must go and see Freddie Wyndham's mother," she said. Her son's on the hood. And that really got to me because she was really crying, the mother's running through the streets. But I say, we had a bright, but my brother was away 5 years, 6 years. Yeah.
How did Brighton change during the course of the war?
Very poverty, very grim and poverty-stricken, you know. But we used to queue up for. My mum had, well, when my brother went, she had 6, but my mum had this big family, and we used to have to queue up for £2 of potatoes, you know. And it was cold, you know, because there was no heat in there, was there? And we could only allow so much coal and things like that. But my mother made a Christmas cake for my brother to send to food parcel. And he was a gunner on them. He was a number 1, as they could, whatever that may mean. But this cake was so heavy. I said, "Mum," she wasn't a very good cook. "Mum," I said, "they can use this for ammunition if they run out of shells." Because they couldn't get enough eggs or anything to make it lighter, the cake. But I said, "Mum, they'll be able to use it on the guns if they run out of shells." I can't say anything else really.
Where were you living at the time?
Where was I living? In St John's Place, the top of Carton Hill. It's a little cul-de-sac. We lived number 4 St John's Place. And we moved in just before, 6 months before the war started. I think it was June, no, it couldn't be June we moved in, and the war was declared in September. But we'd only been, and of course we had bathroom and running water and no outside loo because we'd come from the slums, you know. Yeah. So.
How do you think Brighton has changed since then?
Oh, very much so. Even this main road down here was a single road, and there used to be pawn shops and pub on every corner, and pawn shops and. Well, it was more interesting then, in the old days. There was not lots of little shops, of course. We didn't have supermarkets then. Yeah, it's changed quite a lot. Yeah.
Can you tell me about when war ended? What are your memories of the war ending?
Yeah, well, I was ill when the war ended. I was in Sussex County with everything else. But I can remember the celebration of the day. You know, yes. But it was a lovely atmosphere. They used to all corrugate round the clock tower. And there was a boy sitting on top of the clock tower, young. And the fire engines come through because somebody started a fire and they were really going mad. Yeah, it's a nice atmosphere. Everyone was kissing everybody else, you know. Yeah, it's really nice. Of course we couldn't go down the beach, but we found Little Hampton Beach where we could go.
Why could you go there and not?
Because it was laying in a little bay, isn't it, Little Hampton? It's safer there. They didn't have all the shells and things like that, like mines or anything. Yes, that's just along the coast. Do you know Little Hampton? Yeah.
Was there quite a lot of mines put on Brighton Beach then?
Oh yeah, it took ages after the war to clear it. Yeah.
Could you see?
Barbed wire. Oh, and they cut the pier in half, which amused us because, I mean, German engineers are very clever, aren't they? And they'd soon erect a bridge over, but they did cut the pier in half. Mum said it gives them time to, you know. But yeah, I thought it was rather strange that.
Which pier was that? Was that the West
Brighton
Pier?
Or? Yeah, the Brighton Pier as they call it now. It's a Palace Pier then. But yeah. But of course they dug all the railings and all things around the gardens and all for munitions. Mm. But it was quite, you know, it was a sad time, but we found happiness being young, I suppose, being teenagers, you know. Because we all used to corrugate down the Dome. Sometimes we'd go to the Regent.
Would that be a weekly thing?
That's by the clock tower where Boots is. Yes.
How often would you go to the Dome?
Well, we liked to go at weekends mostly because we could. It was a big bands used to come weekends, Friday night, Saturday nights. So we had late nights. Yes, so it was good. Yeah.
So you'd be working in the munitions factory all week and then go to the dancing at the end of the week.
We used to have to work Saturday morning, and sometimes we'd have to work 8 till 8 in the little munition factory. It's along St Martin's Street place, St Martin's Place in Lewis Road, and the back of it backed on to Wellington Road. Mm. But it was only a small factory.
So what happened to that after the war finished?
After the war? Well, we couldn't get jobs really. There was not many jobs going. Of course, when the men come home, I mean, it was a terrible time really after the war. Poverty-stricken time, you know. And the men come home from war and they didn't have anything. My husband got £100 gratuity and a new suit. But yes, because the men couldn't get a house, couldn't get a job, and half of them, their wives had left them and had babies by somebody else, you know, Canadians or something like that. It was really sad. But you see, we had any jobs going. But the little factory where I worked used to make lampposts before the war. It was called Bleecker, Brighton Light and Electrical Engineering Company. Yeah, and they made lampposts before the war. So I suppose they had all the equipment to make the shells for the mortar shells. But they used to go to Reading to be filled.
Okay, that's great.
I can't think of anything else to tell you. But the Air Force, I say, had the Metropole and the Grand. Yeah, my mother's supposed to work there, but she didn't work. She used to go drinking with the fellas. But, yeah. But we used to make light.